Okay, this is a message for all of you Jake Mace cult followers. Ever since I went hiatus on YouTube, I have received a ton of negative comments from you guys. I kind of find it funny that you people defend a well-known fraud in the martial arts community that is Jake Mace. And I will tell you some info about Jake Mace based on the compilation passed on by an acquaintance of mine. And I would like to state that Jake Mace does not know any Kung Fu. What he does know is his college wrestling for one part, but his main style is Shaolin Do karate. And what makes Jake Mace a fraud is that he's trying to make his Shaolin Do karate look like Kung Fu. He's labeling Shaolin Do karate as this and this type of Kung Fu. There are a lot of red flags that make Jake Mace a massive charlatan. And I don't know why you guys don't realize that this guy claims to know so many styles of Chinese martial arts. How the hell does he know all those styles? Well, let me give you some. Let me tell you this. Why do people dislike or even hate Jake Mace? Number one, he presents Shaolin Do karate as Xing Yi Quan, Hua Quan, Chole Foot, Wing Chun, Praying Mantis, Eagle Claw, Long Fist, Tiger Kung Fu, Baguazhang, and Tai Chi, so on and so on. So the question is, what is Shaolin Do? Shaolin Do is a style of Kwoon Tao. Kwoon Tao Kwoon Tao is Indonesian martial arts that traces itself to mainland Chinese martial arts. But the two are practiced so differently. The major difference being the lack of forms in Kwoon Tao. Well, except outside of the Dutch and Filipino versions of Kwoon Tao. Kwoon Tao is not Kung Fu. Shaolin Do karate was created by Sin Quan Te from his grandfather's style of Kwoon Tao. Sin Quan Te's Kwoon Tao has forms from many Chinese martial arts. Some of them he learned, and some of them he copied from videos and books. So with that out of the way, Shaolin Do karate, the reason that it's called Shaolin Do karate is because Sin Quan Te marketed it as karate because at the time he created Shaolin Do, karate was a synonymous term for all martial arts. Basically, Sin Quan Te and his Shaolin Do karate are products of their time. However, why is Jake Mace promoting his Shaolin Do as this and this Kung Fu? First of all, Jake Mace, this happened a long time ago. If you guys please Google Jake Mace for Sin Quan Te, and you guys will have a lot of links to the lawsuit. Actually, a lot of information. The lawsuit between Jake Mace and Sin Quan Te started out because Jake Mace was accepting belt testing fees from his Shaolin Do school, but didn't want to give some of the profit to Sin Quan Te, which was mandatory for all Shaolin Do schools. So basically, Jake Mace's greediness is what started this whole mess. Thus, Sin Quan Te sued Jake Mace, and at the court case, Sin Quan Te admitted that his Shaolin Do karate was all made up by him. all the forms were made up by him. He did that to keep the patent of his martial art, and he couldn't provide any proof that his Shaolin Do karate has any origins with Shaolin Kung Fu. Number 2, Jake Mace attacks anyone who makes comments of criticizing his forms. Number 3, whenever someone asks him where he learned something, he attacks them with sarcasm or flat out rudeness. If not, then he deletes the question. And if somebody makes a video of asking Jake Mace where he learned his stuff, he has that video pulled down. Actually, Jake Mace did have a couple of videos made by Sergio Perez pulled down. The video that Jake Mace pulled down of Sergio's practical combat martial arts was the phone call that Sergio Perez made to Jake Mace. It's kind of funny. When Jake Mace answered the phone, he realized he was calling Sergio Perez, and all of a sudden, out of fear, he pretended to be somebody else. He tried to even change his voice. So that's one fact. Number 4, Jake Mace cannot provide any names to the people who taught him this style of Kung Fu. You guys, especially to the followers, every time Jake Mace puts on a video of him doing this and this kind of Kung Fu, please put the question on. Ask him, where did he learn this style? Who were his teachers of that style? Jake Mace will never give you a straight answer. If not, he will probably ask you, why is it important? And again, I'm going to tell you this, guys. The reason why traditional martial arts have lineages, especially Chinese martial arts, is to keep the fakers, is to prevent fakers of saying that they are this master of a certain martial art. Is to keep the fakers at bay. Okay, here we go. Number 5. He claims arts he never studied, such as Wing Chun. Even his students were at a loss when he started teaching it. Many of his students actually also did Wing Chun, and he was called out for it. And a lot of Wing Chun people on YouTube also called out Jake Mace. This actually caused his real life school to be closed down. Once people realized that Jake Mace doesn't know any Wing Chun, that's when they started asking questions and soon realized that Jake Mace is a massive fraud. His lies and his deception is what brought his school down. Number 6. If you continue to make posts asking Jake to answer things, whether politely or like myself, lightly rude, suddenly you have his sock puppet accounts with Jake's IP attacking you. Let me tell you this, guys. Sergio Perez is one of Jake Mace's biggest critic, and he even did a video of finding out Jake Mace's IP address were attacking his channel. You know, if you guys watch some of my videos, especially the second one, Jake Mace Exposed 2, I was showing these comments that were attacking Sergio Perez's channel. And Sergio Perez, he has a video of revealing the truth that, you know, he works in IT, and he found out that these negative comments were originating in Jake Mace's IP address. And he made a police complaint about it too. Not only Jake Mace or somebody ties with Jake Mace have sent you know, these terrible comments. They also made phone calls to him and threatened his family. That's why he made the police report. And also, what's kind of funny is that sometimes Jake Mace's sock puppet accounts forget that they are sock puppet accounts and they answer as Jake Mace. So, pretty funny. Okay, here we go. Number 7. When other Chinese martial artists ask him to collaborate, he accuses them of trying to beat them up, call them hater trolls, call them liars, pretend not to know who they are, or ducks out of talking about it. How his charities are better, well, also plugging his GoFundMe page. Well, yeah, don't you guys find it weird that Jake Mace hasn't collaborated with any other Kung Fu stylists? You know, people who are not part of his Shaolin Do scam. A lot of people in the Chinese martial arts community have criticized Jake Mace. Sergio Perez of Practical Combat Martial Arts being one. And another one is Sifu Frank McCarthy of the Hung Sing Kwoon USA channel. Sifu Frank McCarthy has made a video of catching Jake Mace doing a 5-animal form that is only found in his style of Chole Foot through copying some of the moves from a book written by Doc Phi Wong, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Sorry about that. And you know, not only that, Jake Mace, like I mentioned earlier, Jake Mace tried to claim that he teaches Wing Chun, and he was caught red-handed, you know, with that bullshit lie. And not only that, he copied a made-up drunken form from a Jackie Chan movie. So basically, Jake Mace is like, he's making up bullshit out of thin air, or he's just a plagiarist. He knows diddly squat about Kung Fu, guys. Number 8. He attacks those who really study systems. He calls them liars and states that their lineage isn't real. He cites that his quote-unquote grandmaster was a real grandmaster of Shaolin. That is pure bullshit. The only so-called grandmaster that Jake Mace has learned from is Sin Kwang Tae, and Sin Kwang Tae's Shaolin Do karate is not Shaolin Kung Fu. Simultaneously, Jake Mace states that he has no lineage and has learned 5 animals style that I mentioned of that belong to Sifu Frank McCarthy's style of Chole Foot, but he refuses to name teachers. Not only that, Jake Mace claims to have authentic Chinese teachers and authentic Chinese martial arts in China that he studies with when he travels over there. That is number 9. Look, that is one of the biggest lies that Jake Mace has ever told. He has learned diddly squat from any. He did not learn anything from anybody in China. The only guy that he learned Chinese martial art, being Tai Chi, was from David Dorian Ross, and David Dorian Ross himself has a sketchy past, which is a different can of worms, right there. So yeah, basically these are all the reasonings why Jake Mace is a massive fraud. And also, I would like to show this clip of Jake Mace's students, the way they spar, and pay attention to how a black belt under Jake Mace performs. Please pay attention.
It's taught me a ton. It's helped my self-confidence, my humility, my prowess.
Okay, did you guys just see that? That was pretty pathetic. Okay, what Shaolin Do focuses on is made up hand and weapons forms. They're trying to masquerade themselves looking like traditional Chinese martial arts, in which they are not. This is how Shaolin Do, most Shaolin Do students spar. They don't put any much emphasis on sparring, which is pretty terrible. You know, a lot of McDojo masters and other bullshitters in the martial arts, they keep making up the excuse. Martial arts isn't always about fighting. Look, first of all, when you're learning a martial art, your primary focus should be about fighting. And especially if you're learning traditional martial arts that have forms, you know, your teachers, your senseis, whoever who's teaching you, these forms have applications. They contain some of the techniques, such as strikes and even throws, within that form, and some of the basic movements. The reason why there's forms in the traditional martial arts is because it was designed to teach a large number of people some of the basic moves from the style and some of the movements at the same time. So basically, Shaolin Do karate is just a collection of twiddling fluff. That's right, it's twiddling fluff. I could call it bullshit, but I'm starting to find, you know, that term to be kind of cliched, so I'm just gonna call it twiddling fluff. That's what it is. If you guys see a lot of his videos of Jake Mace doing forms, he doesn't really slow, and a lot of his movements are stiff. That's one of the main criticisms he gets from his detractors. That his forms are too slow, and it's kind of funny. He did a couple of videos of him trying to speed up the footage and making it look like he's doing the form like all fast. It's pretty obvious. Jake Mace is an obvious, palpable con artist. And you know, it's kind of funny is that Jake Mace, you know, okay, a lot of his defenders say, oh no, Jake Mace is healthy. He's doing martial arts for, you know, for being healthy, being fit, and you know, and other bullshit crap. Jake Mace himself says, like, you know, oh, he's not into MMA, he's not into fighting, you know, and all this other hippie crap. But what's kind of funny is he has a lot of videos of him, you know, showing techniques for the streets, you know, how to use these deadly kung fu techniques, or how to beat your opponent in 2 or 3 moves. And you know, it's pretty kind of hypocritical. So yeah, and also his self-defense moves, guys, please do not attempt it in real life. I'm saying this to the naive customers of Jake Mace. Okay, let me tell you this. This is based on my experience. To anybody who has bought DVDs of Jake Mace or his online courses, or are just trying to copy his self-defense moves, I'm going to tell you this, guys. You can never, ever, ever learn how to fight through videos or even books by themselves. You can never learn how to fight through videos and books. Look, before I started training martial arts formally, I was the kind of guy who used to buy a lot of books on martial arts, and I was excited, you know, the idea of me practicing these moves that these books contained. And this is a time when I couldn't afford martial arts classes. As time went on, I realized that okay, I can mimic these moves, but I'm only doing these mistakes. I don't have an instructor to tell me what the mistakes that I'm doing. And another thing is that you guys can never learn grappling by yourself or through books and videos. It's impossible. You can never ever learn grappling by yourself, and grappling is one of the most important aspects in fighting. So over time, I realized, you know, that trying to copy these moves is enough. So I went out, looking for different martial art places to train at. Basically, I kind of grew up. Actually, I grew up. So you guys, okay, I'll tell this. This is my message. The reason I make these videos against Jake Mace is to show the ridiculousness that he's promoting. I don't care about you call followers. You guys go ahead and defend him. But Jake Mace is going down. His fake Kung Fu empire is going down. And my prediction is his Kung Fu empire is not going to last. When the new decade is coming, it's not going to last. I have a feeling that Jake Mace is heading to the poorhouse or in jail. This guy has a lot of skeletons in his closet. And I wouldn't be surprised that Jake Mace has some legal issues back in the USA he's trying to run away from. There's a lot of dirt on Jake Mace, you guys. Go research about it. And please, go learn at a real martial arts school. And research about the martial arts in general. Research the style that you're interested in learning. You people that defend Jake Mace, you guys are being played as fools by him. So basically, I'm going to end this video with a message to you, Jake Mace. I know you've been watching some of my videos. I'm going to tell you this, man. Your greediness is going to be the end of you. It's going to be the end of your Kung Fu empire. Fake Kung Fu empire. All your lies are going to catch up to you. This is all due for your love of money. All that time that you did, all this effort that you put up to make yourself look like this master of many Chinese martial arts. All this time that you did this, you could have just went to a real master to learn from. You should have learned your lesson from the case of Sin Quang Te, man. Like, you were not training with good people. You were training with people who are motivated by money. I'm telling you, your pursuit of easy money through deception is going to bring you great misfortune. And I don't like con artists like you, man. You con artists are a bunch of vampires that prey on the very, very ignorant. So, I hope you enjoy your trip in Europe, where you're going to go from there now. Anyways, guys, peace.